Money has been a central element in human society for thousands of years, shaping economies, cultures, and daily lives. Its evolution reflects broader changes in technology, politics, and social norms. From ancient barter systems to modern digital transactions, the story of money is rich with fascinating twists and turns. To offer a glimpse into this captivating history, we've compiled 20 fun facts that highlight how money has transformed over the centuries. These tidbits not only showcase the ingenuity behind our financial systems, but also reveal some surprising and lesser-known aspects of how we've come to use and understand money today. Dive in and discover the intriguing history behind the currency in your wallet and the technology on your smartphone. Before money was made of bills and coins, these items were used as currency conch shells, ivory, clay, live animals and grain. As long as it was divisible and scarce, it could be deemed money. The name money comes from Middle English, from Old French money, from Latin moneta meaning mint money, originally a title of the goddess Juno, in whose temple in Rome money was minted. The first banks were likely religious temples because the security was always tight. The first records of loans, deposits, currency validation, and exchange were recorded in the 18th century BC in Babylon, ancient Greece. Pythias, a merchant banker from Asia Minor in the 5th century BC, was the first banker on record. The term check or check is derived from the game of chess. Putting the king in check means his choices are limited, just like a modern-day check that limits opportunities for forgery and alteration. The Knights Templar between 1118 and 1307 used a check system to provide their pilgrims with travel funds. They worked much like modern-day travelers' checks. The term bankrupt is taken from two words, bancus, meaning bench in Latin, on which bankers used to ply their trade in the marketplace, and ruptus, meaning broken. Once the banker could no longer trade, the bancus would be broken to signify the banker is out of business. The original two currencies of America were the sterling pound and the Spanish dollar. In fact, the first type of US currency to ever be issued was a mere $2 million. It was issued in 1775 by the Continental Congress. Every new issue of this currency steadily devalued it against the sterling pound and the Spanish dollar. The dollar symbol is derived from the Spanish dollar sign. In 1782, the US considered choosing the Spanish peso as the country's currency. The abbreviation for the Spanish peso, PS, later transformed into a dollar sign. The US dollar sign has long been in use to represent foreign currency prior to the issue of the first US dollar in 1875. Not only that, but the dollar symbol never has, nor does it now, appear on any US currency. In 1932, wooden bills were temporarily made and used in Tenino, Washington, because there was a major cash shortage at the time, and wood was readily available. The largest numerical bill ever to circulate in the world was 1 sextillion, and it was the Millard Hungarian pengo, issued in 1946. At the time, it was only worth 20 cents in the US. The first ATM to ever exist was at Barclays Bank in London in 1967. It was invented by John Shepherd Barron while bathing in his tub, or so he claimed. In 1980, the first ATM came to Ireland, Stillorgan Shopping Centre to be precise, and at the Bank of Ireland branch, and yours truly was the junior banker still in nappies who took charge of the machine, basically loading it. On 30th September 1980, the US national debt was $907 billion. Fast forward 40 years later, and the US national debt is over $24.95 trillion, trebled in the 8 years of Barack Obama's presidency from 7.5 trillion to 20 trillion. Former President Trump increased it by nearly 25%. Did you know that money has a short lifespan? On average, a $1 bill lasts only 18 months, a $5 bill will last 2 years, and a $10 bill will last 3 years. This is why the US Bureau of Engraving and Printing has to reprint $541 million worth of currency each year. Disregard the overall US national debt for a moment and consider that the amount of debt the US owes to China only equates to an average of $10,000 for every American family. Americans currently owe about $875 billion in student loans, which is more than our country collectively owes in credit card debt. Student loan debt is increasing at a rate of $2,853.88 per second. The US Supreme Court recently struck down President Biden's attempt to have $430 billion in student debt reduced or waived altogether though he later forgave $39 billion in student loans. In Ireland, we moved out of money and into debit and credit cards big time. For the last quarter of 2022, there were 3 million contactless card transactions per day valued at €53 million, the highest since records began in 2016. For the full year, €17.9 billion in contactless payments were made in 2022. Technology is changing the way we use money to become a paperless, coinless facility, and cash could soon be a thing of the past. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more insights.